Today's build is actually all about warranty. We've got 2 lens replacements and 1 other thing of warranty that we need to do. So let's get started. First one is going to be Miata. These things look so cool. I love this paint match. But here's our issue right there. Big old beefy crack. Now this actually didn't break in shipping or anything, so it's not really warranty, I guess. I did charge him for lens replacement, but he actually was not super stoked about the paintwork that these had on them. I mean, I think they look pretty good, but he wasn't super impressed. I think he's a painter, so we're gonna replace the lens, and I didn't charge him for any paintwork. So he is going to paint them himself. But we are going to double check and make sure that everything is working 100% before we ship it back out. If there's any LEDs going out, then we will replace those. And the second one, also Miata, also lens crack. So we got 2 lens replacements. Of course, this customer did get charged for the lens replacement. We are gonna do the paintwork on this just because it's our more basic paint. It's not the paint match stuff. So we gotta get these lens replaced, and then we can get them sealed back up and shipped back out to the customer. And we got 1 more set of warranty for right this second. Warranty kind of comes in and out. So right this second, we got 1 more. Overall, this doesn't look too bad. This customer was not satisfied with the paint job, and it kind of looks like the plastic wrap that we put over it bonded with the clear coat a little bit. Maybe we didn't let it dry completely. And he did say that there were a couple of lights that were flickering, so we need to check that out on both sides. Okay, we are starting with the blue set, which is a set of NA Miata taillights, which we happen to have the replacement lenses for right here. And by replacement lenses, I mean the whole taillight, because we have to take the lenses off. We're gonna put both of these into the oven, bake them, get the lenses off, swap this clear one over, and get everything sealed up and ready to ship right back out. I mean, test and ship back out. Well, I just set up the shot to record our NB lens replacement, but as it turns out, I don't have any. For whatever reason, I have the box for it, but there's nothing inside, so that's trash now. And unfortunately, I don't have any other NB taillights in here, which means that we have to put this one away until new lenses can actually come in, which means brand new taillights. Here's the acrylic sheet in there that gave it that nice defrosted look, and you can actually see the water line on here. It is really disgusting. I guess that's what happens when there's a big old crack in the lens. Another thing that happens when there's a big old crack in the lens is that all of the bottom LEDs that were underwater are now covered in corrosion. So we gotta get that replaced. Okay, this side is working minus the parking light input because it is completely pulled out of the connector. Not sure how that happened. Now over here, obviously none of these are working because they are just completely underwater and fried. So we are going to replace them and get these things working again. Got some fresh LEDs completely soldered up and ready to install. I do want to get this back housing cleaned up a little bit more because it did get a little bit damaged. So we're going to start working on that now. I also need to double check and make sure that all of the red LEDs, I had some extra red LEDs in there for the brake. I need to make sure that those are good. I'm not 100% sure if they are or not. Okay, we've got that inner housing completely painted. Now it's time to put these LEDs back in and put a fresh lens on it. Of course, we are gonna fill it with beautiful. Got the diffused panel set in place and letting the adhesive cure. All the LEDs are in place. Once the adhesive does cure on this, we can put that lens together, but we need to come back over here because we just got an email a couple days ago about a shipment that we sent out of clear Miata tails. Shipping to the Netherlands, and unfortunately it completely got shattered in shipping. So hopefully UPS will cover it, but in the meantime we need to get this light built into a clear tail light and shipped out. There we go. We got the clear lens Miata taillight all wrapped up, and we can actually box this thing up and ship it out to the customer, which is good because they didn't even get to install the other one since UPS destroyed it. There we go. That Miata light is all boxed up and ready to go. You can tell that I shrunk the box to make it not move around, not bounce around in there, since we have a long way to go and they've already damaged it once. So we're gonna get that boxed up and shipped out. We're gonna bounce back over to this set right here. This was the diffused C-style in a Miatas that had an LED that was flickering, and he didn't love the paintwork. For whatever reason, the paintwork reacted with the protective layer that we put on it for shipping and caused it to look really weird. So we went ahead and repainted everything, and we did repair the LED that was flickering in one of these. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to remove the tape and then double check everything. We're gonna double check all the LEDs. We're probably gonna add just a touch of silicone through here, even though it is butylled, but that small gap that I can't repair, we're gonna put some silicone in there so it looks pretty. We just don't want these to come back. Okay, everything on here is looking pretty good. We got it sealed up through here and here. We got the back sealed up. The front, we got it waxed up, and the LEDs are all looking good, looking like they should. So we can box these up and get them shipped out. Okay, good news is we got another NB taillight, so we can pop both of these in the oven, get that old lens off, get this brand new lens on. Okay, the acrylic is fully installed. This outer lens, like I said, is going to be painted by the customer himself. He would rather do the paintwork. One, our guy doesn't do this anymore. We completely stopped doing the paint to match stuff just because too many customers were not super stoked with the outcome, so we're gonna let him repaint it. But what we do need to do is double check that all of the LEDs are working. I think that there is an issue on this side, but it looks like it's gonna be pretty simple. All right, the LEDs are working exactly like they should, except for some of the inputs. So if you look over here, we've got, for some reason, these two wires are just completely pulled out. I actually don't know why that is like that. So we need to get that repaired. Okay, we got the lens off. We can swap it over right now, but first we gotta get this board all cleaned up. Since that lens was broken and smashed to bits, all of this dust has built up in here. We gotta get all that cleaned out. Okay, we've got the connector completely wired up back here, so all of the inputs are working as they should on both sides. This taillight is completely sealed, and we went ahead and put fresh foam seals on it for him so that they will be completely waterproof whenever he gets them back. It is now time to box these things back up and get them shipped out. Super satisfying to take that tape off and reveal the nice board underneath. So now we can go ahead and test this to make 100% sure that this is still working. Of course, test it a million times because I don't want to ship out something that's broken. But we're going to test it one more time, but this time we're going to test it in the pretty spot. Parking lights are looking really good. Thankfully, we never had any issues with the reverse lights, so of course they're still working properly. Okay, so for the brake and the turn signal LEDs, which are these, we had a big old spot right here not working, but we were able to open it, get that repaired. Everything on here is looking good, and the F1 style brake is still working as it should. My favorite part of any of these builds is the sequential turn, but doing the sequential turn is really hard to do one-handed while I'm holding a camera, so you only get that one shot this time. It is pretty crazy to see how these things started versus how these are ending, how they're shipping out. This is just a world of difference. I'm sure the customer will be very excited to see them back on the car in really good condition. So we're going to get these things waxed up and shipped out.